Welcome back, everyone, to another episode on this series on Murder Drones Lore. If you are just jumping in, links to all the previous parts are in the description down below. Last time we covered the episode Heartbeat, where Jay's core survived and turned into an eldritch monster that was slowly killing every single worker drone in Copper 9, and later rebuilding itself and later getting destroyed. We saw the Absolute Solver show up properly for the first time in the series, and Uzi and N had their first real falling out after Uzi questioned who N is and what they are. V had been freed the entire episode and was still pretending to be a prisoner, and now we are going to get into episode 3, the Promening, and honestly, this is one of the most popular episodes in the entire show, but also one of the best episodes in the entire show. A lot happens here, let's get into it. But the episode doesn't open with Uzi or N, it opens with Doll, and right away, she's already doing something terrible. We see that Doll is chasing a student that is running down a dark hallway, and around the dark hallway there are missing posters everywhere on the wall, and glass is starting to break, and Doll is standing there at the end of the corner and rips off the student's arm with her solver powers, and later we see 3 cleavers, and boom, we cut to the next scene. Then, Doll walks home, crosses off a name off her prom queen candidate list, says she's home to her mom and dad, and we see that the camera is revealing that her parents are both dead, and there's just a bunch of cockroaches coming out of their mouths. And it's kind of funny how Doll is talking to her dead parents this whole time like it's a normal thing. You know, it's just a normal thing to have 2 parents that are dead and you're talking to them. Nice try, Doll. So next, we cut to Uzi, and on her visor, it literally reads Sleep Mode, Guilt, Active. And this is basically, Uzi is still thinking about the guilt of what she said to N in the last episode. She's thinking about it and feels guilty about it. And during her day, she gets kicked out of her locker, she's sitting through every class, and she's just bored out of her mind and just miserable. But then she starts noticing all the missing posters on the walls. And then she walks back home trying to figure out that she finally solved everything, and she sees that all of her notes of everything, including the drawing of N, are not in her room. So she goes out and yells to Con of why the hell are you moving everything? And now it's all in a room with Nori's things. And Uzi then tries to leave the room to go find N, but then sees a skeleton in a prom dress, and Con tells her that she's grounded, and Lizzie and Doll are coming to take her to prom, and Con is going to be the chaperone. And basically, Lizzie just shows up and says, "Sup, freak, prepare to be popular," and Con is basically just behind there with a bow tie, looking like he's gonna look his finest. And basically, it's kind of funny how Con's doing this because he almost got his daughter killed in episode 1 by leaving her, and now he's gonna be the good dad and go out and chaperone. Yeah, you're a normal dad, Con. This is the most Con thing you could do. Meanwhile, Uzi starts to scream, and we move on to V and N. V is presenting 2 skeletons in former wear, one in a dress and one in a dapper suit. V explains to N the full plan. Show up the prom looking fabulous, Uzi lets them in because she has no friends, and then kill everyone and simply have enough so they can survive. N looks at the suit and says he does want to be dapper, but then immediately says no. And we see that N is trying to explain to V, hey, why are we killing these worker drones? You're hiding something from me. And he's very much still thinking about Uzi, and he doesn't want to really interact with the worker drones because they're too dangerous. And then V just straight up cuts N's head off and basically like, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and takes the dress and flies away. So now let's head back to the bunker. Uzi is now in Doll's home, and she sees how Doll's home is just covered in all this mess and everything, and there's really no parental figure there. And while she's getting ready with her dress, she's in the bathroom, and that's when the Absolute Solver symbol flickers on her eye, and she tries to cover it and says the line "Robo Satan," the most Uzi Dorman line in the world, but when she takes her hand away from her eye, the mirror cracks. And then while Uzi's trying to, clean up everything, she overhears Lizzie telling Doll about the plan and how she's gonna let V in and how she should deal with Uzi. So then we see Uzi, hearing a dripping sound. She then opens the curtains and gasps. And from what we can tell, we don't know what exactly was there, but we can probably assume it was a bunch of dead worker drones. But then Uzi figures out a brilliant way to escape. She uses a bunch of mirrors and stacks up and goes to the ventilation to escape. Then Doll comes in and basically talks about how it's the most predictable thing. She should have been able to predict that, Uzi could have escaped with the mirrors and everything. So yeah, Doll, you should have been a bit smarter and actually not keep a bunch of mirrors there. A little idea. So now let's enter prom night. So prom is now happening and the punch bowl has a sign that says decoration only or you will super die. Thad is out here breakdancing, doing push-ups. Everyone loves him because it's Thad. He's the most well-adjusted, the most popular person in the school. And then on stage, we see Lizzie get up and announce that since the whole prom court mysteriously disappeared, they're doing the ceremony slightly early. Your queen by forfeit is this. And V crashes in directly through the ceiling onto the stage. And basically everyone is scared out of their minds, thinking that they're all going to be killed. But then Lizzie goes there defending V with a slideshow of selfies. And in these selfies we see that V is just slightly behind everything. It's just mostly Lizzie and everything. But yeah, now everyone decides to trust her. When V basically sees the prom queen crown, she starts to accept everything and be like, okay, maybe I should leave my guard down for a bit and not go murder. But then Doll seals the doors and immediately puts V in a chokehold, where basically V is standing still. And basically Doll tells V, do you remember me? And we see a flashback of V killing Doll's parents while Doll was in the closet. And that explains why Doll was doing this. Doll's entire plan was to kill V to avenge her dead parents. Meanwhile, and slightly before this, we see Uzi finally meet up with N outside the bunker, and they kind of have a heart-to-heart conversation, and everything's fixed between them, and they genuinely fix all the issues that they do have. So Uzi and N now arrive to save V from getting killed. V does get her arms chopped off, but V is now saved. And Uzi talks to Doll about how someone's trying to separate them, someone's trying to prevent them from working together, and how she doesn't want to fight Doll. But Doll basically says it's her loss, and basically starts fighting Uzi. Now Uzi is able to dodge some of Doll's attacks because of the pirated anime that she has, but she nearly gets hit by an object that Doll threw until N literally put her in a dance pose to protect her. And we see that Uzi genuinely goes to N and has a heart-to-heart of don't do anything stupid and get yourself killed. We kind of see the semblance of both of them forming a kind of ship and genuinely have feelings for each other. But after that, we see Uzi and Doll fight, and then basically Doll throws a knife into Uzi's hand, and Uzi then pulls it out of her hand and starts fighting Doll. And then we see Uzi have the solver symbol on her head, and that makes Doll freeze. Doll tells Uzi she'll be back and just to leave. And then Doll gets shot in the head by V. So V did something useful for once. V actually used her powers to save Uzi. God damn, V, you actually did something good. But then Uzi then starts immediately telling V, why the hell did you kill Doll? We could have used her for questioning, which is generally a smart idea to do. But then V and Uzi decide to go into Doll's room to investigate, and they see the dead body of Doll's mom and dad, but they also see a bunch of oil. And Uzi dips her finger in oil, and we see her start to put it in her mouth. And then Doll shows up, tries doing some things, but Uzi ends up using her solver powers, and Doll starts to be like, what the hell just happened? And she then teleports out and disappears. While that's happening, we see in the outside, in a random spot in Copper 9, a spaceship lands. And there is a technician, a J.C. Jensen, in space technician, and it has the name Tessa. And we see a rebuilt J right next to her. So in conclusion, this whole entire episode was establishing Doll as one of our potential villains, but also establishing the trio of N, V, and Uzi, but also establishing N and Uzi kind of having feelings for each other, but also showing that Uzi now has discovered that she partially has solver powers and is almost able to use them fully. She hasn't fully unlocked them, but she has now seen what she can do. But that is the end of the episode, and genuinely the next episode, Cabin Fevers, is my personal favorite, but is packed with lore. When I mean it's packed, I mean we're gonna have so much lore, it might be a 2-parter video or a genuine 25-minute video. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please like, subscribe, comment down below, share the video to anyone that you know that loves Murder Drones content, even goddamn clip stuff from this video and post it on your socials, I won't care. Do whatever you can to spread the good word of the channel. I will see you all next time. Pains are out.